Good evening, our audience. A new episode of Education Exchange, your favorite TV program all over the nation, all over the YouTube. And tonight is a very special night, really special night, because Grantwood Elementary School is visiting us today, represented by Assistant Principal Joe, right? Yeah. And teacher Kathy, and Kiana, and Eryn. Your school has a very special place in my heart because it was the first school I worked in after I left my medical career, retired from my medical career in the University of Iowa, and wanted to be an art teacher. And I selected your school. So it was a very good, it brings to my mind a lot of reminiscence and nostalgia about this wonderful school. So I would like to welcome you as family. And in the meantime, I would like to give you the microphone to introduce, because we have seemingly limited time. Introduce your wonderful, wonderful activity, kids.
All right, well, thank you. First of all, before we start, we want to say thanks just for having us here tonight so we can highlight some of the great things that are happening at Grantwood. And again, this is Kathy, one of our teachers at Grantwood, and Kiana and Eryn. Kathy is one of our teacher sponsors for several different groups there. Three kind of being highlighted tonight are the Student Council, the Flags, and the Safety Patrol.
And of course they call you Mr. Divoky, right?
Yes, they call me Mr. Divoky.
I can call you Joe.
You can call me Joe. Kids call me Mr. D, or I've heard all sorts of
Mr. D.
names.
Oh,
I respond to a lot. Hey, you sometimes, so you learn to be flexible. But I am actually going to turn it over to Kiana and Eryn, who are going to kind of give us a little overview of, like I said, a couple things: the Student Council, the Flags, and the Safety Patrol.
And you have your microphone, so you're okay.
Oh, okay.
The Student Council, what is it?
Student Council is a leadership group that plans fun events for the school and raises money for charities.
How do you get to be in it?
One person is elected from each class. The class gets to vote on who they want to represent them. Flags. What is it?
Sixth graders who put up the flags in the morning and down after school.
How do you get to do it?
You have to be a responsible and respectful student. Safety Patrol. What do you do?
Sixth graders pick up younger students and take them to the buses safely at the end of the day. How do you get to do it?
When you are in fifth grade, you fill out an application and turn it into your teacher.
Towards the end of the year, fifth graders will watch the sixth graders do the job as Safety Patrol personnel.
Then eventually the fifth graders take over.
All right, so that kind of highlighted, Student Council, Flags, and Safety Patrol. One thing I wanted to point out real quick, they talked a lot about you have to be respectful and be responsible to be a member of this, because we have three big expectations at Grantwood. We have to be respectful, be responsible, and build relationships. And so that is kind of the driving force for all that our students do, all of our staff do. And so we kind of look for students that are modeling those behaviors to have them in those leadership roles. So obviously Eryn and Kiana here have demonstrated that and are great role models to our sixth grade student, or our kids younger than sixth grade, and showing them how to be leaders in the school. And so we appreciate them for all their hard work that they do to help make Grantwood a better place and a fun place.
And they are doing well in classes too?
They are some of our model citizens, or students I should say, at Grantwood. Academics, behavior, just getting involved in a lot of extracurricular stuff. I don't want to take up a lot of time because I know, like, for example, Eryn has to leave here to go to a band concert tonight, okay. So she was gracious enough to come over here quickly before band and then run over there. So
now Kathy.
What you have yours?
I'm a fifth grade teacher at Grantwood, and along with a couple other teachers, I help be the teacher representatives for both the Student Council and the Safety Patrol. Our Student Council meets at 8 o'clock every other Friday mornings before school hours, and we meet to plan our activities, prepare posters, get ideas. And the kids are very involved in deciding what they want to do, so they're taking ownership over the activities. And then I also job share the Safety Patrol responsibility with another teacher, and we're in that phase that the girls mentioned of they're starting to now train our fifth graders who will be moving into sixth grade and preparing them for taking over as they move on to the next phase of their education as well.
And what's that?
We'll talk about this later. This is some art that our teachers
So
are
it's
doing.
coming.
Yep, it's coming. It's
Good.
kind of, everybody gets to see it, and then we'll fill everybody in later on the great work here. But I think now it's time for us to go to our next segment.
Okay. And we are back with the great school of Grantwood Elementary, and back with Joe Divoky, assistant principal, and we are joined now by the new team, and we have Heather Newman,
Yes.
your counselor, and we have Mariah, and we have Kiana again.
All right. Well, I think next we're going to kind of highlight, we try to bring in a lot of outside groups to work with Grantwood. I know we've done quite a few things with like fraternities and sororities at the University of Iowa. We did something called CARS, which is a reading program that a fraternity and a sorority did at Iowa. We also have what Mariah and Kiana are going to talk about, which is called Strong Girls, and that's also something that we partner with the University of Iowa. They meet Fridays from 3 to 5-ish, I believe, and they're working on a lot of different things. Like, for example, I had a group of girls from Strong Girls the other day on our morning announcements kind of talk about bullying and why that's not okay and how that makes people feel and what we should do to help prevent bullying, which we'll kind of get into later with Heather, our counselor. And then also they talked about, things like trying to combat racism, prejudice, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to turn it over to Mariah and Kiana, who are going to kind of tell you a little bit about what the Strong Girls program is.
A strong girl is someone who shows respect, responsibility.
And builds relationship. Wait, that's our Grantwood expectations.
A little louder.
I know that a lot of girls go to Grantwood. We are going to tell you what it is, who is in it, where it is, when.
And why we choose to do Strong Girls Book Club.
You prepared wonderful material.
Strong Girls is an after-school book club where you can have fun, read, and make new friends. But most of all, to be a strong girl. Who is in it?
Anyone through 4th and 6th grade can be in Strong Girls. We also have teachers from the University of Iowa who read with us and teaches us how to be a strong girl.
The Strong Girl Book Club takes place at Grantwood Elementary School.
Every Friday from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
We choose to go to Strong Girls because we want to get better at reading,
Seeing the great friends we have, seeing the great teachers who take time out of their day to help us learn.
We get to know what it's like to be a strong girl.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you, Mariah and Kiana, for kind of explaining that to us. Like I said, we try to get a lot of those outside groups coming in and working with our students because we know there's a lot of great groups and resources in the community that can help them, become strong girls for this example. But next, I think we're going to turn it over to Heather, who kind of this ties in with our strong girls, because they are, like I said, trying to do things like talk about why racism, prejudice, and bullying are things that are not, okay, and why that's things that we at Grantwood are trying to stop from happening. So I'm going to turn it over to Heather.
Okay, so one of the programs we have at Grantwood is called Steps to Respect, and it's a bullying prevention program. And that's a program I teach during guidance, which is a class or special I teach to the students. And it has to do with recognizing, refusing, and reporting bullying. And so a lot of the lessons are involved with empowers the students to recognize it when they see it, how to refuse it, and what to do about it. And so it really empowers them to make a change for our school in order to create a safe and more respecting school. There's role plays and videos and kind of different activities that involve the students so they have a great learning experience on how to prevent it from happening. So, yeah.
And it's very important to maybe pinpoint that Grantwood Elementary is one of the diverse schools. Maybe the second most diverse in the district. Talk to me about this and how because it's a very successful school. There is harmony between all races and all accents. So I think you have succeeded in making a school without conflicts, without. Can you address this a little bit more?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely like to, highlight that we are a very diverse school, and that we actually take pride in that, because we have 22 different countries represented at Grant Wood. Our students, like I said, are coming from 22 different countries, and we have over 13 different languages
It's very
spoken.
cosmopolitan.
It is, and so we definitely like to highlight that, and I know that carries into all our classes. Like, for example, we were asking about, the art here in front of us. Kara Dickel, who is our art teacher at Grant Wood, does a great job of, recognizing that diversity and carrying it into the other classes. For example, this project here is looking at quilts. They partnered with, again, the University of Iowa.
Shall
Museum.
we,
If we could hold up, we could take a look at it.
Yeah.
As you guys hold that up, I can kind of talk quickly about it. But this is a 5th grade project, and all 5th grade students made a little
Maybe you
quilt
stand up,
patch.
Mariah, a little bit, so that we can get on the camera.
Stick your head up this way a little
Mr.
bit.
Peterson on the camera can
Got this
have
way,
a
Mariah.
good view
There we
of
go.
the whole project. Yes.
Perfect.
Great.
And so, like I said, this is a 5th grade project, and each 5th grader made their own little quilt patch and then actually donated it so we could make our own Grant Wood quilt. And they used it, like they traced it onto styrofoam with a pencil and then did some painting. But then afterwards, they had the University of Iowa Museum come in and kind of talk about quilts, and they looked at how quilts throughout history have actually played important roles. So, for example, with the Underground Railroad and things like that, the quilts were actually hidden messages for those
It
slaves.
played
that were-
good part in the civil rights movement.
Exactly. And so, that's kind of tying in with culture and the diversity, and then the history piece, and
You
then...
can put it now.
So she does a great job of, and so do all of our other teachers, of incorporating the diversity and the other core areas, the math, the reading, the science, the social studies, the history, all that kind of stuff into the different...
Integrated.
Yep,
Oh,
integrated
yeah.
together. We have a great specials group of teachers, art, and then our PE teachers, they're working with students to help, even though students might not know it, working on their reading and their math, while doing their normal PE stuff. Right now, our 5th and 6th graders are getting ready for track and field, and so that's coming up here next week. Also, our music is a very big part of Grant Wood. We have vocal music, we have band, and we have orchestra, and our band has a concert tonight. Our orchestra has a concert next week, and all of our classes, kindergarten through 6th grade, had a music concert last month, and so had a great turnout, great performances there. A lot of great compliments on the hard work that the students are doing, and so we definitely wanted to highlight that.
Grant Wood was a pioneer school in 2 activities. It was the only school that had dance, really, official, as well as a rope course. You still have those?
We did have a dance course this fall semester that we partnered with the university. We weren't able to have it go this spring semester, but we are looking at, again, getting it for next year. And did you say a jump rope?
Yeah.
No, we did not have that this year. We were able to bring in jump for heart, wasn't that? I think it was jump rope for heart, which came in and did a performance.
Okay.
Some of the other things that we have at Grant Wood, that I'd like to highlight as well about, recycling. I don't know if when you were at Grant Wood, if they were doing recycling. A teacher started that, and
That's
actually,
new,
yep, and a teacher started that about 20 years ago or so, I hear. And she actually would load it up into her car and take it to the recycling place. But now we have about 48 dedicated students who every Thursday at 1:50 going around all the rooms, pick up the recycling and take it outside so that we can make sure that we're helping, with the environment and all that kind of stuff.
Now, I would like to go a little bit personal. You tell me about your hopes for the future, aspiration, your dreams. What would you like to do in the future?
I would like to be a fashion designer. And
That's impressive.
I like designing, I like drawing, I like art. And I like school. I like the Grant Wood School. And I think that it's a very good educational school.
With fashion design, you have to know math, you have to know geometry, you have to know proportions, you have to know culture. especially when you design in a very diverse community like we have in the United States. You have to include something from the cultural resources of the population in our country. So it's actually a wonderful, wonderful field. How about Kiana?
I want to be a doctor.
Which area?
I don't really know. I just want to be a doctor. That's
Well,
all.
it's another art too. I mean, that's definitely.
It is.
Now, Heather, what's your, let us say, dream about next year? What do you have for the audience here to know about Grantwood next year?
Well, this is my first year there, and so
Right.
I think right now I'm building relationships with the students. And
Are you from Iowa?
yes, I am. Hmm.
So you were from Iowa City,
I'm from Mason City.
Mason City,
Hmm.
and are you going to stay in Iowa for next year?
Yes, definitely.
We
I'm
have
staying
a-
at Grantwood.
A
You bet.
wonderful leader, Joe McConaughey,
Uh-huh.
and we go back years ago because she started in Iowa.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
yeah, and Iowa City, as a matter of fact, and she worked with us in the alternative education service here, helping, initiating the first diverse, really multicultural, alternative class. And she was teaching parenting
Okay.
at the time with us, and then she went to Muscatine and became back principal here at Lemmy, and then to Grantwood. So she's a great leader.
Yes, she is.
We have a lot of hope that Grantwood will see golden time.
Hmm.
It always Grantwood had nice leadership. You are now among the leadership of the. Are you planning to stay there, or you want to be principal somewhere else?
No,
Honestly.
I'm planning on being in Grantwood this year. I love the school. I
Yeah.
love the students. I love the
Oh, yeah.
staff. I love the community. So I'm excited for the great things that are to come in the
Mhm.
future.
What do you have for us next year?
Next year, we just try to continue with the great things we've started this year. Like Heather alluded to, there's a lot of new people at Grantwood this year,
Mhm.
myself and Joelle, both being new. And so we want to keep rolling with the positive things that have happened this year and just keep moving forward for everybody. So
Mhm.
I can't thank you enough. It has been a
Thank
delight
you.
having myself back home with you, and I feel so much that you are about to, with leaders like you, that we are going to have great success,
yes.
definitely.
Yep.
And this program will be on Public Access TV Saturday at 2:30,
Okay.
and on Monday at 7 o'clock, dinner time, and always on the channel 21, if you have cable, channel 21. After the board meeting, at least twice a week. We are on YouTube tomorrow evening, so you can watch it and give us some hits there. We're very popular there. And we are on Public Access TV website too.
Okay.
So thank you very much, and would like to see you again at the
Yes.
beginning of
Thank
next
you.
year.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
know that piece already because of Baby Einstein. And so that's our little walk in the park to recognize all the